top 10 isekai animes with overpowered main characters. Everyone loves isekai anime because it offers a much-needed escape from the real world and allows you to live out your fantasies. But it gets better when the main character is seriously overpowered and the bad guys don't even stand a chance. In this video, we would be looking at some of the best isekai anime with the most powerful main characters anime has ever seen. From reincarnated wizards, powerful devils, and even slime. But before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button and become a member of this amazing community. Without further ado, here's my list of the top 10 isekai animes with overpowered main character. If you have any comments or opinions about my list, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Number 10. Log Horizon. This anime tells the story of Kai Shirogane, also known as Shiro. He is a socially awkward engineering graduate who spends most of his time playing video games, especially Elder Tale, which he has played for nearly 8 years. The game was a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, which had a user base of millions of players and was hugely successful. Shiro was in the process of updating his game during the 12th expansion pack, when he got trapped in the game alongside 30,000 other players, who were logged in at the same time. They were transported into the virtual game world as their in-game avatars, with all their powers and skills. Shiro then teams up with his friends Naosugu and Akatsuki, and together they set out to explore this new world and must fight to stay alive, despite the challenges and obstacles. Number 9. Inuyasha, a feudal fairy tale.
I'm sorry, Inuyasha, for making you worry.
Stop it! Don't apologize!
Inuyasha is centered around the life of Kagome Higurashi, a 15-year-old schoolgirl who lived on the grounds of her family's Shinto shrine with her family. She is also the reincarnation of Kikyo, an ancient priestess who is the guardian of the sacred jewel of 4 souls. The jewel was created from the sacrifice of the priestess Midoriko and was so powerful it granted its holder all of their wishes. Kikyo had died of her wounds shortly after fighting and defeating the half-demon Inuyasha, who wanted to steal this jewel in order to become a full demon. The jewel was burned with Kikyo's body. One day, Kagome was dragged into the enshrined well by a demon and ended up in the past, 50 years after Kikyo's death. She soon learns that the jewel is inside her body and every demon in the world would be attracted by its power. Kagome also meets the powerful half-demon Inuyasha, who tries to get the jewel from her. She accidentally shatters the jewel, sending its shards to different parts of the world. And now they have to put their differences aside and work together if they want the jewel back. Number 8. Re-Zero, starting life in another world. This anime is one of the strangest animes I have ever come across, but it's definitely worth watching. This anime is focused on Subaru Natsuki, a seemingly aimless young man who does nothing but play video games all day long. One day, on his way back from a convenience store, he was suddenly summoned into another world. Not knowing who summoned him, he soon befriends a strange elf girl who introduced herself as Satella and her familiar in the form of a cat named Puck. Satella, whose real name is Amelia, is next in line to become the king of Laganika, but her royal insignia had been stolen by a thief named Felt. While trying to find the thief, Subaru and Satella are killed, but Subaru wakes up to realize that he could reverse time by dying while retaining his memories from the previous timeline. This power earns him the name Returned by Death, and he is now stuck in the endless loop of dying and waking up to change the world. Number 7. Android.
I'm gonna die. How did this happen?
Android tells the tale of Shuna Sanaga, a 15-year-old high school student who is known for his charming and optimistic personality, even in the worst situations. One day, while playing around in his father's office, he finds a strange crystal which changes his life when he touched it. I mean, he should have known better than touch a mysterious crystal in the office of a scientist and businessman who traveled the world. After touching the crystal, Shun is transported into a strange world named Endra, a world situated below the Earth. In this world, the Earth is referred to as the land above. He meets and befriends Prince Emilio, the rightful king of Endra, whose throne was usurped by his uncle Delzane. He was captured and imprisoned when Delzane found out about his plans to regain his throne. Now, Shun has two goals: to help Prince Emilio seek revenge and find a way to return to Earth. Number 6. Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered, but overly cautious. The title of this anime tells you everything you need to know about this anime. The MC is really powerful, but too careful about everything. It all started when Risarte, a novice goddess in charge of protecting the world of Gaebrand from the Demon Lord, summons a human hero to help her with this mission. Because Gaebrand is an extremely dangerous world, she is careful to select a very powerful hero who can carry out the task, hence she chooses Seiya Ryogun. Now, while Seiya was very powerful, with stats that were higher than anyone else's, he has a flaw: being ridiculously cautious about everyone and everything. He was so cautious that he brought 3 sets of armor, one to wear and a spare one, and then a spare for the spare. The crazy part was that he didn't even need armor in the first place. However, it turns out his cautiousness was necessary after all. Number 5. Wise Man's Grandchild. This anime is centered around a Japanese worker who died in a ghastly accident and was reincarnated in a world full of demons, where people could use magic. He was found and adopted by Merlin Wolflord, a very powerful wizard. Wolflord named him Shin and raised him as a grandson, teaching him everything he knew about fighting and magic. It wasn't until he was 15 years old that Wolflord realized that he didn't teach Shin common sense, which made a goofy teenager with way too much power at his disposal. Disium, the king of Earlshide Kingdom, then advised Wolflord to send Shin to his magic academy on the condition that he wouldn't try to use Shin for political warfare. He might only be 15, but Shin's power is mind-blowing. Number 4. The Rising of the Shield Hero. This is one of the most popular animes out there, and for good reason. It is centered around Naofumi Iwatani, a 20-year-old Japanese man who was summoned into the kingdom of Melromark to protect it against hordes of demons known as waves. Upon getting there, he discovered that he wasn't the only hero that was summoned. There were 3 others. They were each equipped with legendary weapons like the legendary bow, spear, and sword. But Naofumi got the worst weapon of all, the legendary shield. To make matters worse, no one wanted to fight with him, and the only person who does ends up betraying him. Naofumi must now find a way to prove his importance and regain the trust of people he has come to save. Number 3. The Devil is a Part-Timer. Satan is a super powerful demon lord who wanted to conquer the world of Enti, unifying it into one kingdom and ruling over it. However, he was forced to abandon his ambitions and flee when the hero Emilia defeats his vast armies and kills one of his 4 generals. Passing through a portal, he finds himself in modern-day Tokyo and takes the form of a human named Sadeo Mao. He takes a job at a restaurant and tries to blend in, to avoid detection. He still retains his powers, however, and uses them to do good deeds rather than wreak havoc. Number 2. The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This anime is centered on the life of Satoru Mikami, a 37-year-old corporate worker who lived a very boring life but seemed very content with it, despite the fact that he spent most of his time alone and did nothing meaningful. However, his life changed when he was attacked by an unknown assailant on his way back from a meeting with one of his colleagues at work. He was stabbed multiple times and left for dead, but while he was slowly losing consciousness, a strange voice from nowhere begins to recite some incantations in his mind. Upon waking up, he realized that he had been reincarnated as slime in a strange world. This might sound very bizarre and a bit disgusting, but being a slime gave him some very powerful abilities. particularly the ability to devour anything, taking its form and absorbing its skills. With this newfound power, he now has a new mission: to prove his worth and change his fate in this strange world. Number 1. Overlord. Overlord is an anime for everyone. Even people who don't watch anime would definitely enjoy this one. It tells the story of a young boy who wanted to spend his final hours in his favorite game before it shuts down. However, when it was time for it to shut down, he realizes that his character is still very much active. And the only thing that has changed is that the NPCs have come to life. Being the only member of the powerful dark guild Ain's Owl Gown, he receives the powers of all its members and elders, which made him super powerful. Taking on the name Ain's Owl Gown, he begins to explore this strange new world he found himself in. And with that, we come to the end of our video today. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our amazing content. See you next time!